Hello everyone, welcome back to Story Talks. It's Tess here with Julianne and Susan. Julianne, we've got a question from Quinn.
Hi Julianne, in your book you write about lost words. What are they? And what on earth is a throttlebottom?
A throttlebottom is someone who's in power who is bumbling and inept. It could be a mayor, a prime minister, or even a president. Can we think of anyone? And lost words are simply words that we don't use anymore. So language is always changing and developing, and there's a whole lot of words that get left behind. And I thought that was quite sad.
That is quite sad. Julianne, there is an intriguing character in your book, Hypatia, who is obsessed with using lost words. Can I give you a rapid-fire lost word quiz to test your word knowledge?
There is a glossary in the book if I get stuck.
Okay, here we go. Test for Julianne. Number 1, what does flippercanorious mean?
Wow, that means brilliant.
Correct. All right, what does snollygoster mean?
Snollygoster is an unethical person in power. So someone who's bad, who's in power.
Do they hang out with the throttlebottoms?
They're often the same person.
Betwitterment.
Well, I'm feeling betwitterment right now, which is excitement.
Woohoo! Me too. And finally, this glorious word, mubblefubbles.
Kind of means what it sounds. If you've got the mubblefubbles, you're feeling pretty down.
Oh, bit of a sense of doom.
Sense of doom. I've
Deary
got the mubblefubbles.
Well, you passed. Well done. Can you give us an example of a nice sentence full of lost words?
I've prepared one and I will read it because it's quite confusing. Here we go. Great gadzooks, excuse my betwitterment. Hearken to my blatteration and don't be betwattled. I hope you don't think me a blatherskite. Ere long you will noggle out what I am saying, and it won't be a boondoggle. I am largiloquent, and forsooth, I think words are flippercanorious. There is none such book like The Secret Library of Hummingbird House. It will cure mubble-fubbles and will not be a quiddling reed. How wunderkins.
I have to agree with you there that your book certainly cured any sense of the mubble-fubbles that I had. What an amazing sentence. Didn't understand any of it, but it was beautiful. So let's talk about the library. The secret library in Hummingbird House. It's not like a normal library. It's so beautiful and strange. I would love to visit it. Where did you find the idea for such a unique library, Julianne?
Well, Tess, you have visited it.
Really?
It's where we work.
Yeah, cool.
The inspiration for the secret library came from working at State Library of Victoria. So in the secret library in my book, there is spiral staircases, just like the ones at work. And there's beautiful old books and many, many floors, just like in the reading room and the galleries at work. So heaps of my inspiration came from there. And then I did some research into other libraries from the 19th century, overseas in Europe and in America. And there were so many that were literally just how I dreamt it up. Spiral staircases, walls of books going up many, many stories. And so I just imagined all of those things mushed together.
Oh, wow, I can really see it coming together now. And you're right. The State Library of Victoria is a bit of a non-such library in itself, a unique library. And we can't wait to have everyone come visit us when those doors reopen.
It really is magical.
Yes, it really is magical. Do you think there are enough words in the world, Julianne?
No, there are not enough words in the world. And we're always developing words as technology changes and as society changes. So the Oxford Dictionary always has a word of the year that reflects the tone of what people have been talking about. Fake news was one, post-truth, climate crisis. These are all phrases that are in our language now, but were not in our language in the 19th century. So words are always changing, and other cultures have words that we don't have. Would you like some examples?
Sure.
So Germans are famous for their crazy words.
Yeah.
So they have words that don't translate into English. One is Weltschmerz.
Ooh, Weltschmerz. Let's hold that up so people can actually see it. Weltschmerz.
Weltschmerz. And that translates as world pain, but what it means is when you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Ooh,
Do you think that's a good word?
Yes, I've got the Weltschmerz and the Mubblefubbles.
Another one is Treppenwitz.
Treppenwitz.
And I think this is a fantastic word. It's a word for when you think of the perfect comeback for an argument, or, you know, you're having a talk and you just think of the perfect comeback, except you don't think of it until hours after it's already opinion.
Okay, that gives me a great idea for an activity. Julianne, you are the queen of lost words and funny words that already exist. I think this activity could be called I Wish There Were a Word For. So people out there, maybe you could make a class dictionary of words that you wish existed. For instance, like the feeling that you might get when a Zoom meeting ends, or the action of talking on the phone whilst you're trying not to show the other person that you're eating some chips. Each person in the class could come up with 3 words. So a noun, an adjective, a verb. Here's an example. Julianne, do you have any examples?
I do. I have a word. It's an adjective, and it's skin honey. And it describes when your skin is sticky from honey, but you didn't even eat any honey.
Oh, yes, my toddler gets that all the time. This is my word, Urkel McDurkle. Oh no, Urgle McDurkle, which is a noun. And that is someone unable to decide which delicious treat they want, e.g. stop being such an Urgle McDurkle and take a bloomin' donut. So that's my word that I've made up for my very specific thing.
I've got a noun for you, Tessa.
Oh, yeah.
Masquettle.
Masquettle. What does that mean?
It's the word for the sweat that you get when you wear a mask.
Oh, I think everyone might be experiencing a bit of masquettle at the moment. So create a class dictionary, and as a next step challenge, use your class dictionary, or maybe just the words that you came up with, in a piece of writing. You could create a poem or a short story, or maybe just a paragraph like Julianne did before. And only those who can access your class dictionary will understand what it is that you're actually writing about. We'll leave that challenge with you. Thanks, Julianne. Thanks, Susan. In our next video, we are going to be talking about kindness, craft, and activism all smushed together. We'll see you then.